Hi, my name is Kaylin, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Visionary Boss podcast, your intentional guide to living, working, and traveling well. The Visionary Boss philosophy is that being a boss starts with governing thyself, mind, and psyche. This is a podcast space for anyone who is seeking an improved quality of life, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're aspiring to have your own business, or you simply want to live more intentionally. I'm here today with CJ from Booze and Bubbles here in Tampa.
Hi, Kaylin. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing so good. Welcome to the podcast. I am so excited to have you.
Yeah, me too, girl. And you look so cute today.
Thank you. I love your merch and everything.
Oh, yeah. You know, you always have to represent. Like, you have to.
You have to. And I think you understand a thing or two about aesthetics, being in your industry.
Yes, every detail matters. It's a very detail-oriented business. So, yeah, it is.
Okay. For anyone who doesn't know Booze and Bubbles, go ahead and explain that to us.
Oh, I love that part. So Booze and Bubbles is a mobile bartending company here in Tampa Bay. We started at the height of COVID, but what I wanted to do with Booze and Bubbles was to set apart from other businesses. I wanted to bring like a mobile vehicular type, but not like a horse trailer. Nothing against horse trailers.
Right.
But I wanted to do something cute and fun, and we brought Boozie. Boozie is our little tap truck, and she's so cute.
She's very cute.
Oh my gosh. I feel so sorry for Boozie because sometimes I just run her. Like, I just run her. Like, she's so ran through. I'm like, oh my God, Boozie, don't, just keep going, girl. But, but no, but yeah, and we also do mixology classes. We're known for that. And we're also known for just doing standalone bartending.
It's all encompassing. It's a brand. It's a lifestyle.
Right.
I love what you've done with it.
Thank you, girl. Well, first of all, can we just commend you on this podcast?
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm so serious.
Thank you. I know it's a passion project, but it's the same thing with what you do. It's like, It's obviously a business. There's a lot of structure that goes into it, but when you love it, it feels so natural. It's so much fun to put more effort into it. So I really love what I do. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome, girl. So the thing I love about Booze and Bubbles is that I get to be creative, and that creativity also grabs the attentions of others. So that's a big payoff for me. And I'm just happy that people trust me and they trust the vision, and I'm just happy to be a staple in the Tampa Bay community.
Yes, I've seen you obviously do weddings and special occasions, but then you also do corporate events and like large scale events. Yeah. I saw an event that you did with Pretty Little Things not too long ago. So you have a lot of big clientele. Yeah,
sometimes it's very scary, and I deal with imposter syndrome because I'm like, "Oh, am I really supposed to be here? Like, is this real? Like, am I in the right place at the right time?"
You are, though. Yeah.
It's scary, but it challenges me, and it allows me to keep moving and going forward. Yeah.
What was the idea behind Booze and Bubbles? I mean, even the name.
Well, you want to know something serious? I never thought about being a business owner. Like, I just knew I was going to go to school, get my master's. I got my master's in public health. I have my concentration in epidemiology.
Okay, love that.
Thanks, girl. But COVID happened. I had just had my baby, and I was either move away and start all over, or it was like, forget that job and start your own business. And that's what I did. Sitting next to my husband, and I prayed about it. The name came to me. God just like said, here. And I was like, okay, I guess this is really happening. And so, yeah, that's what happened. And that's how Booze and Bubbles is here.
I love that. And you went to USF, right?
Yeah, go Bulls.
Go Bulls. Go Bulls.
Yes.
Like, I went to USF too. So it's always cool to see other people who are, went to school and then entrepreneurs, but we all started somewhere, and we all started at USF.
I think USF just breeds entrepreneurs at this point, because everyone I know who went to USF pretty much is an entrepreneur, and they're all successful. So
we're just saying.
I mean, we really don't like UCF or UT. I'm just kidding. Not really.
Not really. Being like local in Tampa, like growing, just like growing a lot as a person, as like a young woman going to school, and now being an entrepreneur. How does that feel? Everything has changed so much around here within the past like 5 to 10 years.
Literally, from what I've seen from Tampa when I first moved to Tampa for college, I'm like, wow, this is a whole different city. Everything looks so different. Downtown, it's like, whoa, what is that? I think it's just staying with the movement and understanding that this isn't an evolving city. in order to survive in the city, you have to evolve with it. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to keep bringing my A game. I'm going to keep evolving and keep stepping it up.
Oh, I see that with your brand. I remember there was an event that I went to. It was 2 years ago. It actually was at, where is the Flower Crown Kombucha?
Yeah.
It was at Flower Crown Kombucha, and you had your mobile.
Yeah. I remember that event. Yes. It was like an influencer type style event.
It was an influencer event. And I remember you were there. And I remember I was like taken aback. I'm like, wow, your setup is so nice. And I hadn't seen anything like it in Tampa. Yeah. And that was in 2022. Yeah.
It was, or 2022, 2021, that area.
That area.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh, that was so long ago. Well, I think I do remember you. Want to know why? It's a picture of you. I have a picture of you from the actual event, and you were eating a macaron.
Oh my gosh. See, that's crazy.
But I do remember that. And, I started there still with no direction and no vision of where I was going.
Oh, for me, I mean, looking at what you had, I was like, oh, she knows what she's doing. And it seems like your business is like lucrative, successful, and also just as far as like people who are searching and looking for a mobile bar or to have that a part of their event, you're one of the first people to show up, like pop up, like
so. And I really appreciate, and you know, COVID was a tough time for a lot of people, but I really appreciate COVID during that time because it was a time for us to all sit down and kind of reevaluate what we're going to do in our lives. And I realized at that point, I was like, wow, this is going to give me so much freedom with my family. Although I still work very hard.
You work very hard.
But it gives me more of a flexibility and freedom with my family that I can't even ask for. So,
Aww.
I love that.
Well, how is that, having the boss hat on and then the mom hat on and then the wife hat?
Okay. I don't even know I wear so many hats. It's the wife hat, it's the mom hat, it's the daughter hat, it's the friend hat, it's the boss hat. It's so many hats. And I'm like, whew. I don't even know.
You just do it.
I don't even know. People ask me, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I just pray and I don't even drink coffee. Let's start there. I drink no caffeine.
Okay.
No energy drinks or anything like that. So I'm off pure just muscle. Like, this is all naturally going. And I can honestly tell you, I don't know. And I don't have a game plan to give anyone. I just know that I wake up and I don't see anything around me. I only see a tunnel and a light.
Okay.
And that's it. So however I got to get to that light, I'm going to do it. So I can't tell you what my game plan is. You know how you hear people say, oh, you got to do this. I am organized. I write down everything. I'm very organized, detailed, very oriented. But I cannot tell you the process.
Okay. That's your recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And
that's what I tell other people.
Because I imagine they ask you all the time, like, CJ, how do you do it? And it's like, you can't give that same advice to everybody else.
I know, because some people it's like I have like an organized chaos in my head. Mm-hmm. And some people are like, what? I'm like, listen, I don't know. It just works. And it doesn't work for everyone. Everyone probably need little sticky notes here and there, but I'm blessed to have that in my head. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it drives me insane. Anxiety is real.
Oh, it's real. Yeah.
Oh.
It's real. And imposter syndrome, it's real.
It's real.
But then you have to remind yourself, hey, I am valuable. I offer valuable services. Yeah. I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm already here.
Kayla, I'm glad you actually said that, because that is what I do with all the time. Mm-hmm. At that Pretty Little Thing event, it didn't hit me until it was over.
Okay.
And I was like, I just did an event for Pretty Little Thing, and I just ordered something last week. Like,
Yes.
And I was like, wow, okay. And then even working with, as far as large as the American Cancer Society, doing events for them, like, that is huge. And I'm like, okay, well, I am where I'm supposed to be.
Because you're the woman for the job. If you can execute it, people want to work with you.
Yeah, you know what? Oh my God, that's good you said that. Because people, they love the business. Keep in mind, it's 1,000 bartending companies out there. Mm-hmm. It's 1,000 podcasts.
And in Tampa.
Oh, yeah, by itself, right? But it's not the actual business that they like. They like the person behind the business and the drive behind it.
Yes.
Right? Because I can bartend and go anywhere and do that. But they want me because they know, hey, every little thing is going to be in order. Or like, I mean, down to the garnish. I am so freaking particular about that mint.
You are, and I love it because it's so feminine and like the detail-oriented mindset you have with it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm not saying that I'm like a artist, like a bar artiste. Like that's not what I do. What I do is I make a nice garnish that is simple yet elegant and chic.
Yes, elegant, and chic.
That's it.
And fitting for the event. That's the thing. I think every event that you do, it's like you are so particular and precise. It's like all the details go together for that event. It's like its own little project.
It is a project.
Yes.
Because people don't understand. What people see is the execution of the event, but they don't understand. It probably took me 6 months to prepare for this.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm like, you're like, oh, well, you know, or when I tell people, hey, this is the price, they're like, well, it's only 2 hours. I'm like, no, but it's only takes me 3 weeks to prepare for this.
Right. And you have to educate yourself and be innovative. It's like anything you do in life, you have to keep refining yourself.
All the time, girl. All the time. And I don't know. I couldn't do it at my team though. Like I have an amazing team. Like my girls, Danny and Kayla.
Kayla is so sweet.
Oh, I love Kayla. We're both Sag sisters, right? Mm-hmm. And usually sometimes Sagittarius can kind of like bump heads with each other. Not Kayla. Kayla tells me what to do. I'm like, I own the company, but how does she tell me what to do? But she gets Danny and I together. I mean, she whip us into shape, and I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And I really appreciate that because it takes so much off my shoulders.
Yes. Because she sees like things that, not that you don't see, but things that someone else needs to see. There needs to be two people overseeing, a maker and a checker sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then I have Danny. Danny is the life of the party. Danny is, she's loud, she's fun, but you can connect with her. She's a people's person. And everyone needs a people person on their team. And that is Danny. Danny is that girl. Sometimes she likes to talk. Danny. Talk a lot.
Danny.
But I love Danny. I love Danny. Yes, sir.
It is important to have people that you enjoy working with and like who see your vision for your brand, because imagine having a team of people who don't get what you get or care about the things that you care about.
And I think that's very important. Like with my girls, with my husband, everyone sees my vision. They know how much of like I'm very type A when it comes down to my business, right? And
nothing's wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, but but you know, like with my husband, I was just him and I was very type A with him. He was like, "Hey, listen, I'm your husband. I can leave." I'm like, "Where you going? Where are you going? Because you got to go home with me." So
right. Oh, how is that working with like, you know what? And I think I've seen in my life with entrepreneurship, I've seen a lot of couples work together. They do it beautifully. Some people, they can't do it. How do you guys manage that? Working together. When I went to that event in 2022 and I saw you, your husband was working with you. Yeah.
So what's funny is we used to argue all the time. That's the God honest truth. We used to argue all the time during the event, but when we get in the car, it was like nothing happened. It was like, okay, well, you know, that was it.
It's a healthy switch.
It was a healthy switch. You know, we had to come to an agreement that this is business.
Right.
And as soon as this event is over, okay, we're back husband and wife. Like right now we're just business partners and we're going to treat each other as business partners. But don't look at me as your wife because I don't want to be feminine right now.
You want to get things done right now.
Yeah. I want to be a boss.
You want to be a boss. You are a boss.
Thanks, girl.
No, literally and figuratively. You are.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And the theme for this season on the podcast, interviewing different business owners in Tampa, I'm asking them, how are you the visionary boss in your life? I feel like you have visionary qualities for sure because you're very passionate. And again, you see through the end of like the tunnel. Mm-hmm. You have the gift of envisioning the future. And also you're a boss because you obviously execute things and you manage an entire business and you have employees. So in speaking for yourself, how are you the visionary boss in your life?
I honestly, I seek all my guidance through God. I'm not going to lie. So that gives me my vision. So, because sometimes my vision is not clear.
Right.
So I can't really be a visionary boss if I don't have a strong faith foundation of how to interpret that vision, right?
How to interpret it. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think for me, being a visionary boss is having that foundation as, you know, with God first. understanding that value, and then allowing him to guide me. And that allows me to see my vision clearer, right? So I'm able to put things in place, and he puts people in my life to make that so much easier for me.
Yes.
So for me to be, how do I see myself as a visionary boss, is that I am God-led. And when I'm God-led, there's no way to distract me. Right. So that my path as a boss is just so clear. You know, although I may have some interruptions, I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm not a robot. I'm not a machine. I'm human. I make mistakes. But with God leading me, I know that path is so clear. So, in other words, that is how I'm a visionary boss.
Oh, CJ, I love that. Yeah, that is so important, because even for myself, like having like that strong faith, it's a muscle you have to exercise every single day. But then it gets easier. And I can say within the past year, I've had different visions for myself where I would just sit to myself and like, you know what? Let me think bigger. Yeah. And I would ask God, how can I see things differently or think more abundantly? And then he would like plant different things in me. And then I would start thinking about things differently. And then I would arrive at the fact, okay, I can accept the fact that I want to grow as a person. I want to do more. And then he's like, okay, got it. And then slowly but surely time reveals and time heals and everything works together. And then I'm like left with like beautiful things that I don't know how I would have even arrived there without God. So I see even for your business, it's like you have ideas and plans for things, and then you're like, all right, I want to do this. And then God kind of lets things unfold for you.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happens. Like sometimes, like, let's just say right now, like after the hurricane, I feel like I use this time as a spiritual time for me.
Yes.
This is a time for everyone to kind of sit down and reevaluate about the important things in life. And during this time, I was able to actually sit down, and I love silence sometimes, because because sometimes when it's so noisy out, it gets you're distracted, and you don't have a clear state of mind. You can't really hear, right? I can't really hear my own thoughts. So, so when it's slower for me, and everything's like at like a standstill, I'm able to be more creative. Right. And I love silence, because I'm like, oh, I can finally hear my thoughts. I can finally put things in motion. And so during these last 2 weeks, I think that was a time for me spiritually and as a entrepreneur, was to put some things in motion and, start expanding on my vision and broaden what I see further from my vision, like my brand. I'm like, I can do that, but I haven't thought about that because I've been so dang on busy.
Right.
So I appreciate this time of stillness and quietness, although it's a little chaotic in the world. But for me, I was quiet in my home, no lights.
Oh, you didn't have any power?
I didn't have any power.
Oh, dang it. During Helene and Milton?
Helene? Nothing. Not a flicker. Milton, the very first night, I mean, as soon as the wind said, I was like, well, there it goes. But it was fine. I probably stayed up all night that night because the wind was like really loud outside.
It was hard to sleep.
It was very hard to sleep. I have a pole behind my house, and we have a brand new house, and I'm like, okay, let me get my insurance papers out because I don't know how this is gonna go.
Why did we do the same thing?
Oh my God! I'm like, let me see damage. What does that say? But yeah, that's just my interpretation of that.
It just shows that even through like difficult times, like you're able to still like see the future. But I like how you don't put a lot of pressure on it. You just do it very relaxed. Yeah, you let it come to you.
I would say by this, I make it sound relaxed, but it's still a very intense time. Yes. Because even though it's silence, now when it's really silent, a lot of thoughts come at one time, and it kind of sometimes overwhelm me. And I try to get like jittery and anxiety. And then I remember like on the second night, I broke down crying in the bed, 2:00 in the morning, to my husband. Like, I'm like pouring it all out because I had so much just coming through me. Yes. And my husband goes, CJ, it's all gonna work out, babe. Like, this is meant for you. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Like, calm down. I'm like, no. I'm freaking out. Yes. But I don't know. I just really appreciate that confirmation, and I just appreciate this time that we were able to sit down.
Stillness is important, and also it's important having someone who's in your corner. Yeah, when you're an entrepreneur and you're a mom and it's like your husband's right there, you
Yeah.
can lean on him. That is so rewarding.
Yeah.
'Cause that's your person.
Keep in mind, without him, there'd be no Booze and Bubbles.
Yes.
Because he was the one who pushed me to do this, because I was not going to do this.
Well, I'm glad he pushed you.
I'm glad he did too. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, I'd be like, I'd probably still be working my corporate job, but making really good money. Don't get it wrong.
Yes.
Making really great
Miseducated.
money. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I was making really great money.
All right. Something I've been meaning to ask you.
Yeah.
What is a day in the life of CJ?
Okay, so my morning starts around 5:30 in the morning every morning, Monday through Friday. I get up, make breakfast, get my son ready for school.
What are you making for breakfast?
Oatmeal, cereal.
Okay.
The basic. I am not going to get up 5 o'clock in the morning and slave and make a huge breakfast for these ungrateful 2 kids. I'm just kidding. But no, just something quick because we're on a time crunch here. And get out the house and get my son ready. And I'm usually getting ready for the gym. So once I leave the car line, which is a whole conversation in itself.
Yes.
Once I leave the car line, I go to the gym, work out. Then I'm home. I go back home. I work, clean up, start getting ready to kind of get prepared for dinner if we don't have leftovers. After that, now it's time to go get my son again. And then now it's homework. And then after that, it's business because it's time with my husband. Oh, my God, I forgot about my husband. But, we sit there. We may watch something funny on TV or some sports and something like that so I can give that time to him.
Right.
Once he's sleeping in the bed, I'm usually on my laptop working.
Okay. So you're always on.
Always on.
Always filling up different cups.
Yes, and I never get to take a nap.
How do you fill up your cup? Like with self-care or just like when you're so busy managing like the work and then like the home life, how do you find a moment for yourself?
My self-care is the gym. I hate to say this. My self-care is the gym.
Is the gym.
Yeah, or in the shower.
Thinking.
Yeah, again. So in the shower, and this is not really TMI, but I don't turn the light on in the shower.
I don't either.
Oh my God. I just light a candle. It's so relaxing.
Oh, my sister. Okay, that is so funny.
Yes.
Because my sister and I do the same thing. I don't like a lot of light. I don't. Just light a candle.
Light a
You're
candle.
the first person.
Really?
That's crazy.
Okay, so that means we need to do a personality test and see where
I think, you're Sag.
I am.
I'm a Gemini. I don't know a whole lot about the signs. I feel like we're compatible.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I light a candle, like a 5-wick, to kind of light it up really nice in there.
Yes.
And then get it nice and steamy. Oh, that is a nice self-care day from like that. Just tops my night.
A hot shower. That's all I need.
God, that's all I need. And then my husband will sometimes come and flick the light on, and I'm yelling, "Turn the light off!"
I know, because it disrupts the flow.
It does. And he's a man. They don't understand that.
They don't always understand.
Yeah.
So for you, that's a day in your life. What's it like for someone to book your services? When someone's like, hey, I want to book Booze and Bubbles, what is that process like? If it's like a wedding or a special event?
The best process is to go out to our website and fill out an inquiry form, right? But if you have like more like lingering questions, I always welcome to people to like contact me and give me a call because I like to talk and kind of work them through because sometimes they have questions and I can give them those small little details that they're looking for. And that kind of guides them how to book the service. So yeah, it's super simple.
Okay, super simple. So doing weddings, I have some experience doing weddings. When I was in college, I worked different weddings and special occasions. So that was very fun because I felt like I was, we watch the movies when you're younger, like in the 2000s, like a wedding planner and all that.
Oh my God, yes.
And you're just like involved with like all the floral arrangements and then the groom and the bride. So how is that being a part of someone's big day?
It is stressful. I'm so serious. Like it's so stressful. And the reason why I say it's stressful is because now weddings are very particular.
Yes.
And sometimes you may have bridezillas who are very type A. I mean, beyond like triple type A, right? And then it's just a lot. Weddings are a lot. They're rewarding, right? But more money, more problems, right? I'm not saying it's a problem, but it's just everything has to be on point. If one thing falls behind, then everything else is kind of thrown off. But you got to know how to pivot really quickly in a wedding. I love weddings because they're beautiful and we get to eat cake.
Yes.
I'm only there for the cake.
Huh. And not even the food, just the cake.
Oh, I don't want the food.
You just want the dessert.
I just want the dessert.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I'm there for. Like, can I get a piece of cake? and that's it. That's all I really want. But yeah, it's
you do a lot of weddings. So what's your busiest season, you think?
My busiest season. Okay, of course, the holiday season. So for November, December, it's like jam packed. And then we go into March, April, May is usually super crazy for weddings. So that's peak wedding season.
No, it's like so hot and it's beautiful outside. I can imagine everybody wants that mobile bar cart.
Well, you want to know something? I'm going to start charging more for outside events. In the summertime, this past summer was probably the hottest summer we have ever worked, right? And it was literally like 105 degrees one day. And I thought I was going to faint. And I was like, oh, yeah, for now, I'm charging extra for outside events during the summer.
Do you ever do weddings back to back?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm like, what did I just get myself into?
I'm like, why did I do this? Like, in theory, you're like, oh, this is very smart. And then you get to it.
You're like, oh, another wedding. And you're like, oh, another wedding. But yeah, it's fun.
You done any celebrity weddings? Or any, like, influencer weddings? Public figure weddings?
Oh, have I? I'm thinking back. Now that I know, I can't remember, but I know I've done a lot of like celebrity-based events,
yes,
and stuff like that. As far as I can remember, but as far as like a wedding, no, I don't remember. Everyone has been pretty much normal and chill. Yeah, but event-wise, yeah.
Ooh, tell me about those.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go back. I think the most recent one was Michelle Williams for Destiny's Child.
Okay.
She came here promoting her book. And it was like last year at 7th and Grove, and she was actually really nice.
That's awesome.
And she's actually she's small. Like she's on TV, she looks so tall, but she's like really small. Yeah, but other than that, and then of course like your local people here, like your football players, Buccaneers, Wise, whatever you want to call them, and then those corporations
like here and there.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix.
It is a good mix. I hate to say this, I it's cool working with celebrities, but then I rather work with like your local, like your everyday person, because I feel like celebrities sometimes they can be a little snobby a little bit, and sometimes they try to shortchange you. Because they try to use their status like, oh, well, because I'm this person,
right?
I can just pay you this. And I'm like, no.
I feel like that happens a lot with like catering and hospitality or people who offer like services for events. Have you experienced that?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
I have people in our DMs all the time. Oh, I have 100,000 followers. And I'm like, okay, well, how many of those did you buy?
Or, oh, it's good for exposure.
Oh, that word.
Exposure. Engagement.
Oh,
community.
Oh, there it goes. I'll tag you.
Curation. Like, there are just certain buzzwords within, like, the event industry and, like, influencer. Yeah. All of that.
It is. And I will politely decline a lot of events. If I'm not really I'm not really into it, I'll just say no. Right. Because I just don't want that pressure on it. And people don't understand. Things are expensive now.
Yes, they are. Goods
are expensive. I don't use cheap stuff. Like I don't buy the store-bought syrups and stuff. I make all that stuff in-house.
Oh yeah. And what is your favorite cocktail? I haven't asked you that.
Ooh, a cucumber gimlet.
Okay. I've had one before. Delicious. Yeah.
Love cucumbers, by the way. I'm getting refreshed. I'm getting hydrated while I'm dehydrating myself.
So we're tackling multiple things.
Yeah. Every time I go somewhere, I'm like, can I get a cucumber gimlet? And then I order a glass of Prosecco.
Oh yeah, Prosecco. I like that too.
All the time.
Are you an espresso martini girl?
You want to know a true story?
I want to hear the true story.
I personally cannot have caffeine.
Okay.
So I never had an espresso martini, but I heard I made the best espresso martini.
That is crazy, but I can understand that.
Yeah. I can smell it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like I lost that taste bud, so I can't have it, but I can smell it. I'm like, oh, it smells like it's kind of good.
What do you think is like the most requested beverage for when you do events?
Oh my gosh, a margarita. Oh, a spicy marg.
Spicy marg.
A spicy marg.
That is so Florida.
Oh my God. And I hate them.
You do?
I do not like a spicy marg because I don't like the way I'm like, why is it burning me? What? I don't like, no. I want to eat spicy food, but not drink it.
Well, how did you get into like bartending and mixology?
Okay, so.
You're like,
Okay, so let's go back to college. Everyone was a bartender in college. Everyone did something in college. Right?
I was a mocktail mixologist in
Oh
college.
my gosh! So I used to always host these like parties at my house. So I used to always have like alcohol and stuff and mixing drinks and punches, and it came from there.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and I was just making little drinks for my family at home because we had nothing else to do. And then I was like, oh wow, I know how to make some drinks. They kind of good. And that's what happened.
They're like, CJ, make me a spicy marg.
Spicy mar, or oh no, it was the tequila sunrise. You remember those in college? Everyone had a tequila sunrise. Did you ever drink a tequila sunrise?
I don't think I have.
Oh my god, they're so cheap, but they were so good in college because they were like. Have you ever been to Peabody's by USF?
Wait, I have. But you know what? Just to play like the games.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back in the day.
Back in the day.
Okay, right? Like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Wait, because I started college in 2016.
Okay, that was way before that.
Okay, wait.
2 years before.
Okay. Oh, I actually like that time of that era.
Yeah, it
Go
was
ahead.
a nice era. Good music too.
Good music too.
So we used to go to Peabody's. Every Wednesday at Peabody's was dollar pizza and dollar drinks. And that was a dollar drink. So everybody could get, you can get 5 and you were like,
You were good to go.
I was good. You could go to Peabody's for $10 and you had a great night.
Wow.
But yeah,
That's a
no,
better
man.
deal than even Chili's. Oh, that's a triple dipper. Peabody's.
yeah. Or even what was it? Buy one get one at Applebee's.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I haven't had that since college.
College. Okay. But yeah, I feel like it's good that you have a background in that because you know what people want. Because that's the thing. When you run a business, you also you have your preference and
Right.
your idea what you like, and then the customer has their wants and desires.
Exactly. And I feel like everybody's in this fresh era. Everybody wants something like fresh and
Right.
like curated. It's a favorite word for everybody. It's curated.
Curated,
Yeah,
aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
But everyone wants something fresh and they want something that is not sweet. You know?
Yes, that's true. Actually.
No one wants a sweet drink anymore. Like back then we used to drink like pina coladas. No one wants that sugary mess anymore. So I think I'm catering to that time now.
Yes.
I'm curating to the freshness and the aesthetically pleasing looking drinks.
Good point. Because I noticed that when I've gone out lately in Tampa, if I'm not drinking, if I get a mocktail, everything is like a spa, like refresher.
Right.
That thing's really super sweet.
Yeah.
Artificial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why mocktails cost $14 now.
Yes, because it's fresh premium ingredients, you guys.
Yes. It costs money.
It costs. I know, because it's not like the sugary stuff.
Yeah, with the red dyes and stuff like
Right.
that. And especially with my background, I'm like, no, I'm not. If I wouldn't give it to my own body and my kid and my son and my family, I'm not going to give it to other people. I'm sorry.
But then it's little things like that. So when someone's having a special event, or say it's a holiday, even if you're having a bunch of friends and family come in for a holiday, and then you book Booze and Bubbles, of course you want something refreshing and appropriate for that setting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, no, I tell you what, I enjoy making cocktails. I really do.
Yes.
Like today, I was home making a spice peach syrup.
Oh, I might need to try that.
Yeah.
I might need to come over and try that.
I got you, girl. And then
Yeah.
I made an apple pie syrup, and then I made a salted apple pie rim to go around the rim.
I can almost like taste that right now.
Oh my god, it's like literally I had to make myself stop eating the rim because it tastes so good,
So
the
good.
salty and the sweet. I was like, I'm gonna have type 2 diabetes. Let me stop.
Oh my gosh, we don't want that.
No.
But, that's actually, it's funny you mentioned those like seasonal type of like flavors because you have an
Yeah.
upcoming mixology class.
I do. So, yes, on November 17th at the Greenhouse Gardens, they're owned by Fallen Oak Farms with the little small mini goats. They're so cute.
I saw that and I showed my mom. I'm like, Mom, look at these goats.
I know. And so yes, we're having a mixology class there, and it's a garden to cocktail class. And with the garden to cocktail class, you're able to go into the garden, pick out your own fresh like little herbs and ingredients to go inside the cocktail. And it's like a you pick experience, but you pick it, you wash it, and then you make your cocktail. Isn't that different?
That is different, and everyone will have something personalized.
Yeah, so we'll kind of give them a base of like you want to choose this herb and stuff like that, and then we will guide them how to make the cocktail, how to muddle, how to pick the right one you want to like hold for your garnish. So I think it's going to be a great experience.
Oh, I think so too. And the venue is so beautiful.
It's a hidden gem.
It is where is it again?
So it's Brandon Valrico.
Okay.
So I'm not really like, again, since I'm not from Tampa, I'm like, it's Brandon. They're like, no, it's Valrico.
No, I should know. I've been in Tampa long enough.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Let's
okay.
GPS that one. That Brandon
Yeah.
Valrico area. Okay.
Yeah.
It's very it's very like an intimate feel from what I've seen, like the photos, and it's a lot of greenery.
A lot of greenery,
So
very
it's romantic.
fresh. Yeah, so pretty much, everyone will be able to go in and make their own cocktail. But the venue, it sits on a natural aquifer.
Okay.
So I can't wait for everyone to hear about the story behind that actual land and how it's like it has an Indian reserve on it too. So it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be a nice event. So tickets are on sale right now for it. We are almost halfway sold out, and we're a month out from the event. So that makes me really happy that people are excited about it.
Well, I'm excited for you, and I like how intentional it is. I feel like you find really good venues that have good backstories, and you're able to work with the people who own the venues, and it all comes together very nicely.
I'm excited. We have a lot of sponsors for the event. We have Melody Wines. We have 11 Vodka right out of Miami.
Okay.
They're both woman-owned, so very great. And then we also have a few local sponsors here in Tampa. So I don't want to give all the spills.
Spills?
Yeah, but we're going to have a lot of – it's going to be a great time, man. This one, I think it's going to be my favorite.
I love it. Very intentionally curated events. You do so much, with your brand, and I think it's so important because it's your baby, it's your project, and you want to pour in excitement and innovation into what you do. It makes it exciting for you.
Yeah, it is very exciting for me, and because I love to see it unveil. Once it unveils, I'm like, wow, it was so worth it. And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding.
I can imagine like all the photos that you have from like past events.
I don't even know what to do with all those photos.
I know. Just look back at them.
I do. It's like okay, I'm doing something. It's nice.
What is the advice that you have for anyone who maybe not even getting into bartending or doing like a mobile service like that? Anyone who's like a woman entrepreneur, what advice do you have?
I give any woman who's who wants to even become an entrepreneur or who is right now, do not be discouraged about the process because that is your testimony and that is your guidance to go further, right?
Right.
But the biggest thing is just to start that process. Some people get intimidated by funding. Some people get intimidated by other competitors and oversaturation. But again, once you set yourself apart and kind of find your own uniqueness, my advice to you is to always stay creative, stay consistent, stay intentional, network. Oh my gosh. I mean, step outside the boundaries of networking. I'm a bartender.
Right.
I'm doing a podcast. That is not normal. Usually bartenders are just handing out their business cards and say, hey, book me.
Right.
Or just be on Instagram. No, I'm intentionally in places to put myself in position. So be intentional with every move and just set the standard for yourself. And if things start going downhill, that's a great thing. It's okay because then you know what? Now you can only go up.
Got it.
That's it. So I tell anyone if you feel like it's not going where I need to be, take a moment, be still, be quiet, understand your thoughts, get things in order, and then pivot.
And also surround yourself with good people. And
Absolutely.
You have your family who loves you unconditionally. So I'm sure that really helps after like very tough days or challenges. And
yeah, you have to have that strong foundation, whether it's with your spouse, friends, family, your faith, whatever grounds you. Always have that grounding around you. It's really important.
CJ, those are very wise words from a wise woman.
I do have a gray hair, so don't say that.
Oh, what's that?
I have a gray hair, so I am wise now. I guess I can blend in now.
So you can blend in now. No, that was very important feedback and advice. Like this podcast episode was so exciting because you shared your story. You gave people great pointers for being an entrepreneur, the ins and outs of it, and how you're able to just be a well-rounded person. Like where you don't have to. I think sometimes people can get lost in that where they think they have to put. I mean, of course, you put in a lot of time and effort, but when you don't take care of yourself, how could you be good for yourself or anybody else? So
that's so true.
I love how you do it all, and you do it well.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm glad I make it look graceful.
Very graceful.
I appreciate that, girl. And you too.
Thank you.
Keep it all together, girl.
I appreciate
Can we
that.
talk about the hair?
Oh, the hair?
The hair is herring.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you're watching, you should be watching on YouTube format so you can see us.
Yes.
So I appreciate that.
Yes,
Thank you.
You're welcome,
CJ,
girl.
where can they find you if on socials?
Yes, so if you want to take a moment, pull your phones out, you can find me on Instagram at Booze and Bubbles with 2 S's at the end. You'll find our logo. It's going to pop up. And then on Facebook, Booze and Bubbles Tampa. And then on X, Booze and Bubbles Tampa.
And your website?
Oh, of course. Duh. www.theboozeandbubbles.com. Or you can give us a call at 813-841-3353. And I'm going to pick up the phone for you.
Right. You support local events and you also travel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do travel a lot. To Fort Myers, Orlando, Jacksonville, you name it.
So for Tampa-based and surrounding areas, CJ is the person to book for your next event.
Yeah.
It was great having you, CJ.
I appreciate you, Kaylin.
Thank you. I'll have you back again next year.
Yes. We have to do a reunion tour of all your.
I would love that.
That would be so cute.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, girl.
All right. I'll see you guys. Thanks.